In northern Israel, soldiers are engaged at a distance with militants from Hezbollah, an organization like Hamas the U.S. considers a terrorist group. Imtiaz Tyab is in northern Israel following the latest there. Imtiaz, good morning.
Hey, Anne-Marie, good to be with you. Well, the U.S. has warned the Iranian-backed Hezbollah movement, which is Lebanon's most powerful military force, not to get involved in Israel's war with Hamas. But for 4 days now, Hezbollah, along with Palestinian factions inside Lebanon, have been trading cross-border fire with Israeli forces. So far, at least 3 of those fighters have been killed, and 3 Israeli soldiers, adding to the already large number of Israeli soldiers who were killed during Hamas's massive assault on southern Israel, including 27-year-old Israeli-American combat soldier Aryeh Ziering, who was at his parents' house when he got the call to fight. It'd be the last time they'd see him alive.
Down the road from his childhood home, Aryeh Ziering was laid to rest.
Aryeh, I sat in your room last night, and it hurt because I could feel you.
The grandson of Holocaust survivors, Ziering stayed in the military after his mandatory service to protect his country, his parents said.
And he loved sports, and he loved the Boston Red Sox.
Debbie and Mark Ziering moved to Israel from New York 28 years ago. On Friday night, they were dancing in the kitchen with their eldest son to celebrate the end of the Jewish holidays.
15 hours later, we get that knock on our door, which is a knock you would never want to receive.
Aryeh was among the first Israeli soldiers killed in action in southern Israel at the height of Hamas's brutal assault.
You never want to get the knock on the door. With the 2 Army officers outside. And this woman came in, and she said to us, "Your son was killed today."
And I think that's, one of the things we're going through now is he's still very present and we feel his energy, but he's not coming back.
More than 1,000 people have been confirmed dead, including 14 Americans. At least 100 are being held captive inside Gaza. The number of U.S. citizens there is still unknown. For Debbie and Mark Ziering, despite the pain of losing Aryeh, it hasn't shattered their hope for a better future.
We believe in peace. We believe in, coexistence. We don't want to eliminate anybody from this world or this planet. Everybody should have a place to live.
Something, they said, their son believed in.
And like I once carried you under my heart for almost a year, you will live on forever in my heart.
Now this morning, thousands of families in Israel and Gaza are suffering just like the Zierings as they try to make sense of all they've lost. Guys.
Imtiaz, this is the second time that I've watched your story. It's very, very hard to watch, especially if you're a parent. My heart breaks for them, and it's a reminder that though the attack, the attack happened close to the border with Gaza, the ripple effects are vast. Yes, so it was very moving, and it was a story that needs to be told, even though it was tough to watch. Let me ask you about the situation in northern Israel right now. How are people feeling there?
Yeah, Marie, we're not far from the border with Lebanon, historically tense border, which, as we've been saying, we've seen exchange of rocket fire between Hamas and Palestinian factions, as well as the Israeli military. In fact, on the drive up, we saw a really long column of Israeli tanks and Israeli forces mobilizing, which really underscores the fact that Israel's not taking any chances, that this fear almost immediately after that horrific and harrowing Hamas attack on the southern border of Israel, the southern area of Israel, could lead to a wider conflict. Well, it seems at the very least that there's a potential that that could be happening. We've been hearing from people throughout the last few days here in the north, and they're worried. In fact, several communities here have basically been evacuated. They're essentially ghost towns as people worry and frankly are terrified about what may come next. guys.
You know, I got to tell you, the history of tensions in this region, as you know, has gone on for decades and decades. And more what's been happening over the past few days, people have been, my family, my friends, asking me to explain who the players are, the history here. It's very sort of convoluted and confusing if you haven't covered the region. So let's take a step back and talk about Hezbollah. Can you talk about who they are, the relationship that Hezbollah has with Hamas and Iran?
You're right. You know, when so much of the world's attention is focused on conflicts elsewhere, whether it was Ukraine or Afghanistan or Iraq and even ISIS, this conflict has been going on for decades and decades, and the players haven't changed. And you mentioned Hezbollah. Hezbollah is a really unique organization. It is based in Lebanon. It is perhaps the most powerful military force on the ground in Lebanon, more powerful than the Lebanese military. It is perhaps one of the most potent political forces there. It has several seats inside the Lebanese parliament, but of course it has an armed wing. But the history of Hezbollah is intertwined with Israel. This was a group that was formed in the early 1980s as a resistance movement against Israel when Israel was occupying Lebanese territory. In the last 40 years, it has grown and evolved into, again, as we've been saying, a powerful fighting force. It was on the ground in Syria in support of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad and Iran as it fought against Syrian rebels, and really has become a very hardened military force. And so if a front opens up here, the reason it's so terrifying is not that Israel is fighting on both borders. It's because Hezbollah is a much more powerful and potent fighting force than it's ever been. Anne-Marie.
All right, Imtiaz, thank you. Meanwhile, thousands across the U.S. gathered in support of Israel. A large crowd rallied outside the United Nations in New York yesterday. Some were seen shouting at a small group of counter-demonstrators, but the gathering remained peaceful. But in Hartford, Connecticut, law enforcement worked to quiet the crowd at a Free Palestine rally where one man was seen being escorted to a police cruiser.